Hello there, it's Marshall here, and you know, we've been talking on social media and all that stuff about everybody's kind of stuck at home, social distancing and coronavirus stuff and everything. And well, I figured what better time than to make some extra content for people because I know some people are at home and maybe even feeling a little alone or a little scared or something. And so I decided that this is the time to double down and to make more stuff. So we're going to do it. So I'm making an extra video here just for fun. I have no idea what I'm going to take out of this pack. Maybe we'll just start with a gold card. That seems stupid, right? Let's take this. Let's try to get some people dead. How about that? How about that? We're not going to mess around here. If we're going to do a little extra, we're gonna try to get them. Forked bolt. I like mana leak as well. Gear per gear crafter is nice. Sky spawner is good too. These are kind of funny cards next to each other, aren't they? I'll take mana leak. I don't know where this draft's going to go. This is a Pauper cube, by the way. Been messing around with this a bit. It's pretty fun. I like Shaper Parasite a lot. Exclude actually seems pretty darn good. One thing I've noticed is that basically every creature in this cube has some type of enter the battlefield effect, often getting you like some type of card advantage, drawing you a card, bouncing a thing, killing a thing, something. So I've actually put a bigger premium on both counter spells and exile effects because they just prevent all of that from happening. Where my beloved bounce spells, like old Mistraven here, they're still good. Don't get me wrong. It's not. I'm not like I'm taking it here. Just spoiler alert. But they're not quite at the level that they have been. That they would be in like a normal set. Anyway, yeah, I'm taking it here though. They're still very strong. You can set back your opponent a lot. Not literally every creature has ETB, so it's okay. But I've definitely found myself in spots where I'm looking at it like, I don't want to return any of those. Like, you're just going to get another card back or it doesn't really do enough. So you do have to keep that in mind. Been hanging out at home most of the day. Did some work, messed around with some of my watch stuff, watch video stuff, and then figured you and I would hang out. Ooh, Predatory Night Stalker. I've actually liked that one quite a bit. Speaking of enter the battlefield effects, let's take that here. The best decks I've had. I don't know if it's the best, but definitely high on the list of the decks I've drafted out of this have been blue black and black red. I've liked both of those quite a bit. Is this the one that gets Menace? Oh yeah, not nearly as good. Dryer of the Dead. Corsair is not what I want in this type of deck. I could see taking a Coalition Honor Guard. It's extremely annoying. Driver of the Dead is pretty mediocre and has no targets currently. Yeah, I'll just take the Honor Guard just in case. I don't really know where we're going quite yet, so. Ooh, Gary. All right, back on that train again. Remember when this was a common? They did fix that problem. And it was absurd when it was a common. Any card that is still considered very... you play as many as you can get at uncommon is probably pretty insane as a common. Especially cards like this that actually stack well. They're not just individually good. Sign in Blood seems fine here. I could also take Peace Strider. I don't really like Naiad that much, but yeah, I'll go with Sign in Blood. Butcher Ghoul, meh. Rushing River, eh. But Silent Departure's pretty good. Again, you can use it just to sort of kill a couple of tokens or something like that. So we can do that. The blue-black deck that I had the most success with, ooh, Violet Paul came back. Okay, I'll take it. Was a value-based deck. It was just all 2-for-1s. Like, I think almost every creature I had was a 2-for-1, and I had some ways to return them from the graveyard and then blink that and then do a ninjutsu. I mean, it was just insane. This one's shaping up to be a little more on the controlling side of things, though. Like counterspell, removal spell, you know, kind of removal spell, that kind of thing. But we'll see. Slug or Mauler? I don't really want either, but I'll go with Slug because it's cheaper. I like the one that you turn face up and it casts terror on something, but the Sinuous Vermin a little less so. All right, well, we could stay on the same plan that I've been talking about, which is the, you know, counters and stuff like that. And I think we probably should. The Remove Soul being the most efficient card here. Vendetta's pretty good too. But it doesn't kill big stuff very well. And I really like Thirst for Meaning. But yeah, I'm going to go with Remove Soul here. You just don't see it. There's just not that many 2-mana counters. You kind of, I think you just got to take them when you see them. Ooh, here's a pack. Wow. Capsize, which we could use as a late game win condition. Ether Adept, very strong, of course. It's kind of like Mana War. And then there's Mire's Grasp and Spectre, which we would also play. I don't think we could find room for Stormscape Apprentice, at least not with our configuration now. We may wheel one of these cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 good cards here, and we could possibly get one back. My temptation is actually to go for the Capsize here. We've got removal spells, or counter spells, I mean, that go well with it. And it does provide just a pretty sweet late game. We could have the Whispers of the Muse Capsize combo. Oh, cancel that order. Oh, I'm so happy. How lucky. It's just not every day you get to Muldrift, you know? Probably just going to play Curse of Chains here. Displace I don't really want. Curse is a decent card. Well, here's an interesting choice. So, Preordain, obviously super powerful, just really good card. But there's also a Rend Flesh, which is a hard removal spell, which we could use. Generally speaking, the Preordain is much harder to replace than the Rend Flesh, but we also just don't have one right now. So it's like, ugh. Yeah, I'll still just take the efficient Preordain here and hope to find, yeah, like this, more removal a little bit later. Cavern Harpy, you can kind of go off with this, although we're not particularly set up for it. We can do some stuff. You play it, bounce Muldrifter, replay Muldrifter, etc. But there's going to be 2 cards left in this pack, and they will be Depth of Desire and Sequata Lancer. The Doomblade is exactly what I wanted. I'm just going to take it here. If we wheel a gold card, then we got lucky, but we just don't have that much that goes off. We have like 3 creatures we actually, you know, want to do that with. Oh, here's a Skin Thinner. Oh, that's the one I wanted. I'll take it. This is the morph that, well, actually Doomblade's when it gets turned face up. Sort of in between Doomblade and thing. Rusalka Existence. Whisper Agent would be fine, but Death Deny does seem good. We can just get back 2 or 3 creatures total and probably just win the game. It's slow, but, you know, you can leave up a counter spell, and then if they don't counter anything on end step, bring back, you know, say, Muldrifter, Skin Thinner. It's a lot of power. sweet. Thirst for Meaning came back. Well, that's awesome. I don't think we're going to be able to wheel the Harpy, but I really didn't think we were going to wheel Thirst for Meaning, so I'm really happy about that. Yeah, that's nice. All right, we got the Liliana Spectre back out of that pack, so that's fine. And this one actually still has some action too. Impulse is where I think I want to go. Yeah, we'll do that. I don't think we're going to run out of cards too often. Defile, another decent removal spell. We're pretty heavy blue. Defile probably in this deck is more like a kill something small. All right, let's see what came back out of these. Huh, I was right. That's funny. All right, what do we got? Ooh, Counterspell. Okay, Hired Blade, no. Wretched Gryph is great. Yeah, let's just take Counterspell, though. I think that this is our game plan, right? We are the control deck here. And when you open actual Counterspell, I think you just take it. Deadweight. Crypt Rats can be a sweeper, but it is hard to make it work. I have been unimpressed by it thus far. And remember, this is commons, so sweepers, are generally very good. But I think they just don't really fit into this cube particularly well. Deadweight is very tempting just as a cheap interactive spell. And I would actually play Pristine Talisman potentially. Gaining a life a turn can be really important against some decks. And then, of course, the ramp is just useful from going from here to here. Witching Well is tempting, but I'm just going to go with the Deadweight. I think we can replace Defile, for example. Or even Silent Departure and play Defile. We can do something like that. Ooh, Ray of Command. Sky Scanner's nice too, but yeah, I'll take Ray here. Cards just has enough blowout potential to be worth it. That's kind of the bottom line with Ray of Command. You can just get a 2-for-1 or break up combat or fog them or there's just a lot that you can do. It's very flexible. And the high end of it is it's a 2-for-1. I mean, you steal their creature, block their other creature. If they trade off, well, you got yourself a little 2-for-1-zy, so it's not too bad. What do I want here? Probably Halimar Wave Watch. It doesn't go particularly well with our strategy because it encourages you to use up your mana on your turn, but you also just don't have to. You can just not do that. And this card is extremely powerful against blue decks because you can play it early and really force them to interact with it over and over again. Ob Nixilis' Cruelty is tempting, and Claustrophobia is fine, but I would take Cruelty over Claustrophobia. So for me, it's between these two. We've only got 7 creatures right now, so I think I can go for the Halimar Wave Watch, even if it's only late game. That's probably fine. Oh, man. Snuff Out's pretty sweet. Although, that would be our 3rd non-black creature removal spell, so if we do play a deck playing black, we're in kind of big trouble. I could take the Shinobi. It does seem difficult for us to actually get it in, but if you do once, it's just devastating. Otherwise, we're just taking another random flyer. I'll take the Shinobi here. Oh, wow. Errant Ephemeron. Nice. Very sweet pickup here. This is the kind of thing that we can put on layaway and then just lean on our counters and stuff to keep our opponent off balance for long enough. That is awesome. Okay, so do we want more interaction or more card draw? We've got Sign in Blood. I'm not counting Impulse or Preordain. I'm going to kill this, by the way. Thirst for Meaning, Sign in Blood, Mole Drifter. I guess we could use, and then Death Denied potentially. Let's just take Night's Whisper. It might replace one of these. Might just be better. I'm going to take this Goblin. I'm actually going to put it in my sideboard, but that's a good sideboard card against aggressive creature decks, cheap ones. All right, we got the Talisman and the Witching Well back. I think I actually want Witching Well. I think it might just replace the Sign in Blood here. Because turn 1 Witching Well to make sure that we have the mana to play our counter spells on turn 2, and then later on in the game being able to leave up that mana, and then if we don't need to use it, then cracking the well is quite powerful. So I kind of like it actually. Sky Scanner, sure. Not 100% sure I'm going to be able to fit it into this deck, but I'll take it. Normally I just play it all the time, but this deck is really stacked, so it's going to be bumping something pretty important off. It does, if we do run cards like this, though, it does make cards like Shinobi that much better. I don't know if we're going to be able to fit this in. I think I'm going to kill Death Denied. Because we have decent, like basically Death Denied is card draw. And we ended up getting more efficient, cheaper card draw. So I think that's better. So what do we want to cut here? I think we could probably cut Skin Thinner just and maybe the Liliana's Spectre. I don't hate the Spectre. Our creatures will still die. The fact that we have fewer of them means that they're more likely to die because our opponents will have a lot of removal and we won't be presenting that many targets for it. I could see cutting the Shinobi, but really with these two, it does make it a lot better. Also, picking up any of these, this, are all really good. Picking up these is less good. I could see cutting Ray of Command and bringing it into the sideboard when we think we're going to be getting attacked frequently. If we do end up playing like a creature light deck or a control matchup, the Ray of Command is actually quite bad. Well, let's try this. Yeah, we need more islands here. Because we're trying to hit these early counters, early blue stuff. All right, this deck looks pretty sweet. Let's see what it can do. It's definitely my kind of deck. It's got a few little contradictions, but nothing worth getting too fussy about. You know, Errant Ephemeron, you really do want to suspend it on 2, but if you're trying to hold up counter spells, you can't, you know, just as an example. But for the most part, you just go for it, and then they sneak their 2 or 3 drop through, and then you deal with it and counter their big stuff anyway. So it's all good. Well, speak of the devil. Yeah, this is a keep. Oh, very nice. Looking for lands here mainly. The question is, do we want a third island here? We will need more lands, but let's just bottom that because we're going to go for Ephemeron, we'll get a draw step, and then we'll get another draw step and then go for Impulse. And we do need swamps, like more so. All right, go ahead. Doomblade live targets here, so that's nice. I'll just pass. We're not missing our land drop here, so I can just impulse on my opponent's turn. Oh, they even put the counter on it for us. That's nice. All right, so let's impulse for a swamp. And this way we can... Ooh, that's really close to being awesome. Doomblade this. And also play Night's Whisper, and then pass. All right, this has persist, so that's pretty good against what we're doing. We've got a bit of a non-bow here, so I do have to kind of decide how I want to approach this turn. So Curse of Chain's very good here, but then the Predatory Night Stalker is kind of a dead card after that, because we just end up unlocking the Scuzzback Marauders. I could use Violet Paul to kill it, which is actually a clean solution because it comes back as a 4/1 and then I could just block. That seems pretty reasonable. Man, I think I should wait. I open up to getting interacted with a little bit here, but I don't take any damage if the Violet Paul does go through, where if I do it on my turn, I just, have to soak it up, which is not good. They got a swamp, okay. Okay, I think this all works out okay for us, actually. So I get to play this. Attack. Let's see. Am I willing to take some hits here? I think so. Basically, if I play the Night Stalker, they'll sacrifice this either way. And then I can Curse of Chains. I don't have enough mana to do it all at once here, though. I could also just block with this. The thing is, I really want Curse of Chains to go on this thing so that they don't get the elephant. And I'm going to actually say that it's worth it to take a hit from this thing. And get in for 5 in the air. And they get me down to 11. But they lose. But then I can just lock down this stupid thing. And I also have the ability to gain quite a bit of life back if I use the Spectre and the Merchant at some point here, which I will. All right, so that's a 3/4 with reach. And what does this do again? Oh yeah, you can get 2 more bears. Okay. So I'll take my medicine here. Oh, I don't have any creatures yet. Oops. Could gamble a little here. It's probably not worth it, though. All right, let's just do this. So that'll keep that thing on lockdown. And then I have blockers for anything here. I mean, I guess they could attack with the Mother Bear. I'll just take it. But I get to draw 2 cards off of Witching Well here and kind of piece together our plan. Nice. These are all very good. I'm going to leave the shields down on the exclude for a turn here. Because I just want to get more black mana symbols on the battlefield if I can. What did they have? Oh, Wrecking Beast. Okay. Because if they don't chump block, then we just kill them with the merchant here. I could actually just capsize this and then get them as well. Just going to take it. Disturbed Burial with buyback. Nice game then. Don't even need Gary. All right. So we're playing blue-green with a little bit of a splash for some late game stuff. Brave Command does seem good in the matchup. As does Hellamar Wave Watch. Deadweight. What would that do here? It'd do a little bit. It didn't seem amazing, but it seemed okay, I guess. Could definitely play this, as they don't seem to have any targets for it. I kind of like how this is looking already, though. Maybe I'll just do that. It was pretty good for us there, but my opponent may be adjusting for it anyway. We can kind of sidestep them. All right, well, we've got the Ephemeron again, and then we've got Exclude. So as long as my opponent doesn't explode out to some big board state here, we should be fine. All right. That counts as not exploding out to a big board state. At least not yet. That's pretty good, though. Take some beats off of that thing. Yeah, turn 3 Typhon's nice. Excluding basically anything I can. Okay, that's pretty good. I'll just use this as a removal spell on the Visionary, which I consider to be a pretty decent card, especially in decks that can produce a ton of mana. Get rid of the Typhon. Yeah, that's insane. Now we're just in super good shape. Basically, if we untap from this point, we're like extremely far ahead. Here, they could still cast something that could matter, but if we get to leave up Counterspell and stuff. Oh, they disturb Burial. Okay, so we will need to counter that at some point, because they can just keep buying it back over and over again. In the meantime, taste it, as we say in the business. Actually, I think I'm just going to take the initiative here, because they've got an island out, so we can just smash them. Oh no, they have 6 to their turn. All right, they gave up. Okay. I accept. Ooh, I know this player. He's very good. Island, plains, all right. You may have a 2/2 for 2. No attack? A little weird. Counter that. Bounce that. Have to kill the Honor Guard. No choice. Unfortunately, the Curse of Change is not a good option for the Stormscape Apprentice, as it still does untap on their untap step. It's just a trigger goes on the stack on their upkeep, and then they can simply activate it. It does limit when, but it's not enough of a limitation to make it worth it. I'm going to run out Gary here, but I actually want the Wave Watch more. I just feel like I'm going to run into a counter or something. Actually, I wonder if the Wave Watch is actually better in this situation. Maybe not. I'll just run it out. It's what I want anyway. Oh, all right. This kind of puts some pressure on my opponent's mana here. They need to keep this white available to keep Halimar Wave Watch at bay, probably, if they don't have an answer for it of some sort. So, or they have to just answer it right now, in which case, fine. All right, they got their own Mist Raven. Send my Halimar Wave Watch packing. Gary's actually an attacker here, kind of funny. Thinking about what kind of stuff I want to sideboard. Definitely Defile comes in. I think we'll bring in the Morph guy as well. Just if it kills everything that all your opponent's creatures, those type of cards go up quite a bit. Looks like it's going to go digging and figures I can just use the Stormscape Apprentice to keep anything too nasty from happening. Makes sense. It's pretty good here, actually. I guess you tap down Gary here. So I guess Syndic goes away. Either way, I'm happy. Looks like it was not the Syndic. Perhaps wanting to try to trade here and just forget about this whole dumping mana into the Apprentice thing. But again, the Halimar Wave Watch is applying some very real kind of passive pressure to this board state here where my opponent just can't ignore it forever. So if I draw a land here, I can actually level up all the way. Oh. Wow, that's really good. you discard 2 cards. Yeah, that's nasty. No doubt about it. Going for the reaction cards, it looks like. I can actually discard this to thirst if I don't find a thing to do with it. So they get something back. That's the bottom line here. I just have to vote. Each player votes for an artifact, creature, enchantment card in your graveyard. Return each card with the most votes or tied for it. So whatever they vote for, I have to vote for, and then they get that card. And they can get an artifact, enchantment, or creature. Yeah, so it gets back basically anything that you care about. That's a good card. It's a 3/3 flyer also. Wonder if it's worth it to kind of just shove in a bunch of creatures here. Like this could trade, like this kind of must be blocked, right? So it probably gets blocked here. This could trade here. This could get through and this could get blocked. And then I could deadweight this. And or this. I could pick one of them, but I would lose one of my creatures in the process. I don't know if that's worth it or not. I think I'm just going to wait. I can counter this, what's it called? This honor guard. Oh, that's greedy. I love to see it. Not gonna lie, I love to see it. They're going to lose 2 of these cards again as well. Wasn't quite able to leave up enough mana for mana leak here, but I'm going to settle for getting them down to 5. And this gives me just all types of options. I can capsize Gary and just kill them if they don't have an answer. Let's see, I've got 8 mana. If I get one more, I can buy back capsize and then just capsize the other thing and just kill them. Like, that was just a huge swing for us. And this thing really hasn't done anything. It's just loomed over this match, though. Like, every time it's here, my opponent just has to consider the fact that I might just go level, hit you, which, again, is another way I could just win this game. All right, discarded Pondering Mage and a removal spell. Basically the 2 5-mana cards. No, you're attacking? What is going on here? What is going on here? Maybe Faith's Fetters? That would put them back up to 9. Leave them in a very bad position, though. I wonder if Faith Fetters is even in this thing. Oh, Blinding Beam. Okay. So that's with the Entwine, so my creatures won't be untapping is kind of the moral of the story here. But I can just kill my opponent, right? 3 and then just cast Gary. And if they don't have a way to interact, then it's lethal. I don't know if I need to make that kind of move here, though. I feel like I don't. I feel like I can just, like, do this and then just leave up Mana Leak. Or Capsize or whatever. In fact, this looks like it might even be better. Just my opponent's resources are so dwindled at this point, and now I have 2 flyers to block. Yeah, see, that's still just not enough. Unless there's something I'm missing here on how to get in for an additional 4 damage out of blue-white. Yeah, nothing. Okay. So I definitely want to be the control player here, and I want to be able to kill my opponent's stuff. That is my game plan. My extremely complicated game plan of kill your stuff. And this is a maybe. So what's a little less good here? The Wave Watch was, again, didn't actually attack at any point, but was pretty good. But my opponent's really on like a tempo game plan here. So I need to be able to react to what they're doing on board, and then that makes their cards a lot worse. That's kind of the bottom line here. This is also a maybe. So Ephemeron's good. Night Stalker's good. I think I'm going to cut Cursive Chains because we saw at least they have Mistraven, and I can bring in, you know, like actual removal in that place. Probably just more flyers is good as well. And then I think I do want Skin Thinner if I can somehow make it work. Although I do like everything else I have here. There's nothing that's just obvious that needs to go. This is optional. Like I could see cutting it just to get the Skin Thinner in because I think it is really good here. The Shinobi was very good. I like that a lot. I could cut Knight's Whisper. I've got quite a bit of card draw already. And the damage might be relevant if my opponent's playing cards like, you know, tap your things down for just a little while. Like that's a, you know, those are ways you can lose games that you didn't think you were going to lose. That's for sure. Yeah, I'll keep this one. Probably just run the wave. Actually, yeah, I'll probably wait on it, especially if they're not going to do anything. Kind of have to run it out because otherwise I'm discarding. Can live with that. This is a big turn. Yeah, that's what you want here. That's exactly what you want. All right, let's preordain into some lands here. Too late for that guy, but I will just take any random land I can get. Because here I can Mana Leak or remove Soul something, take my beats, but then the Mistraven stabilizes us. I can, if I don't draw a land, if they don't do anything and I don't draw a land, I can also evoke Mole Drifter. I can't sit here. That is not an option. I'll counter basically anything they cast, and if they don't cast anything, then I just won't cast anything or counter anything. Sure. Mono blue today. All right. Well, we're at least getting closer here to Mistraven being able to stabilize this board a bit. But we're just so far behind. All right. Cast Mistraven. Resolved. My opponent didn't do anything. All right. This is hopeful. I don't know how it's possible, but it's hopeful. I will block here. We're very far behind here. Maybe they just have the thing to get back a guy. Ah, they do. They could have got this either way. Now they're going to get something a little better. Okay, lands, please. A swamp, that's better. That is starting to improve a bit here. So now I can leave these up for the thing and the stuff with the everybody, and I'll just play this. All right, and a swamp. All right, this is starting to come together. We are not in a good position, but we are not dead, and that much I'm happy about. I'm going to take this hit here because, well, for multiple reasons. One, I might want to Shinobi, but also if I play the Spectre, then the double block will kill that, where a single chump twice isn't as good. I'll just Mana Leak this, I guess. So the question is, oh. All right, I'm just going to Spectre here and just represent a double block, a counter spell, or an exclude. I'll find a target for Violet Paul. It's fine. No need to panic. What do they discard? Mistraven. Well, you can see why. And I wouldn't be surprised if they just took the 2-for-1. Well, it's not really, but you know what I mean. The 2 creatures on board here for the 1. Okay, so let's exclude this. What do you think? No? Okay. So 3, 4, 5. So I can actually kind of do a whole lot of things here. I think this is a thing I'd like to do. And then try to connect with this, or this. I'm going to counter whatever this is. It costs 6 mana. And that's probably game. So I can actually get their whole hand out now. So I get 2 cards and then I can cast a Spectre to get the last one. Ooh, hitting lands is nice. And then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's actually lethal. Wow, that was a beating. All right. Is it trophy time? Starting to get used to this. Oh, and by the way, yeah, so there's our opponent there. They've got 7 trophies, which is actually a lot. This cube hasn't been up for such a long time. I mean, I think I've only done maybe 4 of them or 5 of them or something. Starting to get a feel for what the cube's all about. Yeah, stuck at home. You get to do a lot of cube drafting. I guess that's something to be thankful for. And if you don't get to, then, well, you get to come along with me. So I don't know if that's a good thing or bad, but you're here. Island, Wave Watch. I like that. Omen Speaker. Okay. There's an argument to be made for sure for Halimar Wave Watch on my turn plus then just pump it up, which I think I'm going to do because there are a million ways in this cube for red to do 3 damage, but really no way for them to get the full 6 in. And so if I play it and do it, if, you know, the shields are down or whatever, then I can actually make something of it. Here I'll just pass. I mean, they're hitting me for 1. I'm not really worried about it. And I'll go for Thirst here. I'm actually just going to discard the Curse. Nah. We can do better than that. All right. Now I wish I had the the dead weight because 1 mana to kill their 4-drop is pretty good. But that's okay. That is annoying. Yeah, that's really annoying, actually. I can't kill it with Violet Paul. or Doomblade. I have no idea what's happening. Wow, I just got the trade off to Mirror Guildmage. That was amazing. All right. I have no idea why that just happened, but I like it. Okay. All right. So I don't get to kill that thing. But so. What do you got? All the counter spells? No, not necessarily. So far, we haven't seen any actual red spells, so I don't know what's up with that exactly. They discarded the Omen Speaker and Illumination, but that thing resolved. I don't know if it'll stick on the battlefield, but it did resolve. But if it doesn't, we're in fine shape. We got Gray Merchant, Witching Well, we've got a removal spell. We're looking good. Does this happen? It does. Ah, you've got a Whisper Agent. Okay. I accept. Oh, they got a splash for black here as well. Okay. All right, I'm going to level this up to 2, but I'm not going to overcommit to it in case they find a removal spell. I'll leave my 4 mana up so I can just Witching Well instead. Yeah, there we go. See how smart I am? Look at that. Two swamps and a swamp. Back? All right, he's back. And we'll go ahead and play Gary out here as well. Okay, well, this is kind of where we've hit a little bit of a stall out here, and we just need our opponent to kind of be out of gas as far as dealing with the Wave Watch. Oh, they play the Izzet Chronarch. What do they get back? I honestly don't know. Oh, they have Wrecking Ball. Okay. Because now they have swamps. Fair enough. So it's going to be Gray Merchant versus these two idiots. And we do get to get in for 6 here, so that's kind of nice. Too many lands. That's a weird play. A little bit weird, at least. Okay. All right, they gave up. I don't know why. That seemed like a fine position to me. So I'm not in love with the destroy target black creature stuff here, like that we have multiples. But I don't think there's anything I really want to do about it. So let's just run it back. We did draw about 100 extra cards that game. I do like an errant ephemeron. This seems hit or miss against them. I mean, at one point they had a 1/1 army token, but at other points it would have, it hits 4/4s and stuff like that. Ooh, nice. So my 3-color deck opponent now has triple island online. Can live with that, I guess. This is a turn where I just have to try to impulse for action. Oh, looks like they're out of action, speaking of. Night's Whisper or the Wave Watch? Triple blue has a hard time dealing with Wave Watch if it resolves. I'm going to go for the Night's Whisper here. It's just more redundancy. Our deck isn't really built to apply a lot of pressure if our opponent's missing mana, unfortunately, but we are one away from the ephemeron here, so that's a thing. Spectre. Looks like their mana issues are going to bother them. All right, no Cloaked Siren. Mire's Grasp, all right. So let's see if they have the... No, they don't have it. All right. Oh. They do have something, actually. Yeah, that's pretty annoying. Let's just be annoying right back. Oh yeah. Now the fun really starts. Unfortunately, we had to take a turn off to play the Night Stalker here. Otherwise, we would have just started capsizing over and over and over again, which is Talk about fun. Talk about fun times. Pretty tempted to just let this happen. Yeah, you got it. Sure. Got rid of a water knot. Woo! Good timing there. All right, I'm just going to pass here because I can leave up Exclude and Doomblade, and then I have a nice capsize if nothing happens. Or I could just draw cards, but I'm kind of a jerk today, so I'm going to go for the capsize. Let's do the same thing again. Ooh, hello. This is really not the card you want to pick up for the Shinobi, but I guess you do what you got to do. Ether Snipe. That is probably just worth removing its soul here. All right, we got there. Even got the trophy too. So that was sweet. What is this? Thorn of the Black. Oh, this is where you get to become the, what's it called, right? Yeah, the Monarch. That's pretty cool. I don't know what format you can play that in, maybe Legacy or something. Well, that's cool. All right, well, that's going to do it for this one. Thanks for hanging out. Hopefully it was a little bit of a reprieve. And yeah, might even do a few more of these. So look forward to seeing you next time. Bye-bye.